I write these words though my hand trembles, for I fear they may be the last record of Strasbourg before the Lord himself erases our city from the earth. The air burns with heat, so thick it chokes the lungs, and the stench of rot seeps from every corner. The fishmonger stalls drip with spoiled flesh, the gutters swell with filth, and the air itself tastes of decay. Even the river seems sluggish, its waters stained with something unseen. All creation has turned against us. It began with one woman. She stood in the square beneath the merciless sun, and without music, without cause, she began to dance. At first, I thought it some madness of grief, or a drunken fit. Her arms flung wide, her feet struck the stones in wild rhythm, her hair plastered to her face with sweat. She did not pause. The sun sank, night fell, torches sputtered and died, but she moved still, stamping, twirling, staggering as if pulled by invisible strings. By morning, she was not alone. Others joined her, though no one bade them. Their faces twisted with torment, their eyes rolled back, yet their bodies moved as though compelled by some cruel master. Men, women, even children. Some tried to hold themselves back, clinging to door frames, grasping the arms of kin, but it availed them nothing. Their legs betrayed them, dragging them into the circle, into the frenzy. The sound was like nothing earthly. No drum beat it, no fiddler called it, yet the stones shook with rhythm. Feet struck until skin split, until blood slicked the square, until nails tore away from flesh. I saw one woman collapse, froth bubbling from her lips, yet even upon the ground her feet twitched, kicking against nothing, still keeping time. We prayed. God forgive us, we prayed. Priests marched in procession, swinging censers heavy with incense, chanting psalms until their voices cracked. Relics were brought forth, veils and bones and crosses, but the dancers only grew wilder. The sacred words did not soothe them. They mocked them, shrieking louder, stamping harder, as if the very presence of holiness drove them deeper into frenzy. It was then I felt the first true dread. For if prayer cannot halt this, then what force can? The council turned to physicians. Learned men in their long robes declared it an illness of the blood, a fever boiling the humours. Their cure was simple, they said. Let the afflicted dance themselves to stillness. And so, musicians were summoned. They came with fiddles, with drums, with pipes, their notes sharp and frantic. I watched in horror as the dancers leapt higher, screamed louder, their limbs flailing like marionettes in the grip of a mad puppeteer. The music did not heal them, it enslaved them. The square has become a pit of torment. There is no end to the stamping of feet. Day and night it continues, a thunder that shakes the very bones of the city. I try to sleep, but the sound haunts my dreams. Even when I close my ears with cloth, I hear it still, faint, muffled, yet constant. It seeps into my heart, a rhythm that does not belong to me. Their bodies are ruined, feet burst open, toes shattered, skin flayed until bone shines white. Yet they move still, driven by something deeper than flesh. Their mouths bleed where teeth have bitten through lips. Their eyes bulge red, but they do not stop. Some dance until their hearts give way, collapsing in spasms upon the stones. And still, even in death, their legs twitch. The marketplace stinks of blood and rot. Goods lie abandoned, fish blackened, bread crawling with mold, fruit collapsing into pulp. No one tends to them. No one cares. The city is deaf to all but the rhythm. Corpses lie strewn where they fell, trampled beneath the living. There is no time for burial. The graveyards overflow, and beyond the walls, pits gape, swallowing the dead by the hundreds. And yet, even in the fields of burial, whispers say the earth quivers at night, as though the dance continues beneath the soil. We are prisoners within our own walls. The gates are watched, for fear the madness will spread beyond Strasbourg. But within, there is no escape. It is in every alley, every chamber, every prayer. Families eye one another with suspicion. A tremor in the hand, a twitch of the foot, and terror blooms. None trusts his neighbour, nor his wife, nor even himself. I dare not look at my own legs for long. They feel heavy, restless, as if some secret current runs beneath my flesh. At night, the bells toll in mourning, yet their solemn cry is swallowed by the stamping of feet. The dancers do not tire with darkness torches flare, shadows twist upon the cathedral walls, and the frenzy continues. Their cries rise into the night. Some scream hymns, others howl curses, others babble in tongues not heard since the Tower of Babel. The air reeks of sweat and iron, of smoke and rot, of despair. I fear to leave my home, yet I fear more to remain within it. The sound penetrates the walls, the timbers, the very marrow of my bones. I feel it in my chest, in my teeth, in the beating of my heart. My dreams are filled with stamping feet, with faces twisted in rapture and agony alike. I wake with my sheets drenched, my legs trembling. Sometimes I find myself standing in the dark, swaying, though I remember nothing of how I rose. God help me. I do not know if I am already claimed. Strasbourg is no longer a city. It is an open grave, a theatre of hell. The dance devours us all, whether we move or merely watch. No prayer silences it. No war contains it. No grave buries it. The sound of feet is everywhere, an ending inescapable. And I know this now. It will not cease when the dancers fall. It will not cease when the dead are buried. It will not cease even when the city is silent. For the dance is not of flesh, nor of blood, but of something darker, older, unnameable. The dance will return, and when it does, it will claim the world. I write again, though my eyes ache from sleeplessness and my hand trembles, as if the pen itself were infected by the same madness that seizes the city. There is no rest. The air is thick with heat and rot. The streets are filled with cries, and above all there is the pounding, always the pounding of feet. It grows louder each day, as though the city itself has become a drum and the dancers its cruel musicians. What began with one woman is now a multitude. I no longer count them, for their number swells too quickly. 50 became 100 became 200 by now I believe near 1,000 souls are claimed. They pour into every corner, into alleys and markets, spilling beyond the square like a flood that cannot be contained. Their bodies crash into stalls, shatter doors, overturn carts, yet they do not pause. The dance consumes all space, all reason, all life. Their faces are masks of torment, eyes roll upward until only the whites remain. Lips are gnawed bloody, tongues loll like those of beasts. Some laugh as though possessed of joy, but the sound chills me more than any scream. It is laughter born of despair, of throats tearing under strain. I see women claw their hair until they are bald, men strike their heads against stone until blood gushes, yet their legs move still, stamping, leaping, staggering. And now the deaths begin in earnest. I have seen hearts burst within the chest, blood spraying like a fountain upon the cobbles. I have seen ribs break from within, lungs torn by their own convulsions. They collapse, gasping, limbs broken, yet the dance continues in spasms until their final breath rattles free. Even then, their bodies twitch, as though the rhythm will not release them. The city is not a city now, but a graveyard that dances. The stench of sweat and blood chokes the air. The flies swarm so thick they cloud the sky. Rats grow fat in the gutters, feeding on scraps of flesh left upon the stones. The bells toll constantly, but no one hears them above the thunder of feet. The priests march, chanting until their voices crack, but their words are drowned in screams. I passed the market yesterday, where once fruit and bread were sold. Now bodies lie in heaps, half alive, half dead, their limbs jerking in grotesque rhythm. The stalls are overturned, the fish long rotted, the bread crawling with worms, but no one notices. All eyes are on the dancers, and the watchers tremble as if the rhythm gnaws at them from within. I fear to watch too long, for I feel it stir in my own marrow. The physicians have doomed us. They declared the only cure was to let the afflicted dance, and so the council, blind fools, ordered musicians to play. Now fiddles screech, drums pound, pipes shriek until blood runs from the musicians' mouths, and still the dancers move. The music does not cure them, it feeds them. It is as though the devil himself plays through human hands. At night, the torches flare, casting monstrous shadows upon the cathedral walls. shadows of twisted limbs, of bodies writhing in agony, flung wide across holy stone. Some say they see horns in the shadows, or wings, or shapes too vast to belong to men. I dare not look too long, for I to see patterns that make my soul quake. The very walls of Strasbourg are painted with demons, born from the bodies of the damned. The dead are carted away in heaps, yet even in the fields of burial there is no peace. I hear whispers that the earth itself trembles, that faint thuds echo from beneath the soil. Perhaps the dance does not end with death. Perhaps it merely sinks deeper, waiting to rise again. And what of us who yet live? We are prisoners within our own homes. The council forbids us to leave, for fear the madness spreads beyond the walls. But the contagion is already within. I see neighbors twitching, shuffling, swaying when they think none watch. I see fear in every eye, suspicion in every glance. Wives lock themselves away from husbands, fathers shun their sons, for none can trust who will be taken next. I to feel it. At night I wait to find myself standing, my body swaying though no music plays. My feet itch, my legs throb, my chest heaves with a rhythm not my own. I pray until my lips bleed, but still the echo lingers. Sometimes I wonder if I have already begun to dance, and only my hand remains free to write these words. The city grows thinner, food runs short, for bakers and butchers are claimed. The wells sour, for no one cleans them. The air grows fouler, for the streets are never cleared of filth or of bodies. Children starve, while their mothers stamp themselves to death upon the stones. Strasbourg is not merely dying, it is rotting alive. And yet, the dancers do not stop. They leap, they stamp, they twist, their flesh falling from their bones, their blood pooling at their feet, until the stones themselves seem red. Still they move, still the thunder grows, still the city shakes. God forgive me, but I believe this is not his punishment. No saint, no angel, no Christ would inflict such torment. This is the work of darker hands, of the enemy himself, mocking our prayers and laughing at our tears. The devil has seized Strasbourg, and we are already his. But the worst thought, the one that haunts me most, is this: what if it does not end here? What if the dance is only beginning? The city is gone. It no longer belongs to men, but to the rhythm that devours them. I write these words in the dim candlelight of my chamber, though the sound of feet shakes even these walls, rattling the ink upon my desk, making my hand tremble as if I too were seized. The pounding is constant, merciless, unending. Day and night blend together in one great thunder, until time itself seems meaningless. Strasbourg is a single heartbeat now, a single monstrous drum, and it beats to the rhythm of death. The dancers are no longer a group, they are a plague. They spill from the square into every street, every alley, every doorway. They flood the markets, they storm the bridges, they stamp their way to the very gates. At first we thought it contained, that the madness could be confined to one place, but it has spread like fire upon dry fields. Now there is no corner of the city untouched. To live in Strasbourg is to live within the dance. The physicians still cling to their folly. They bring musicians to the afflicted, believing the sound will purge the fever, but the music only drives them deeper into frenzy. Fiddles screech, drums beat like hammers, pipes howl like wolves, and the dancers writhe with unnatural vigor. Their mouths foam, their tongues loll, their limbs thrash as if the devil himself plucks their strings. When the musicians falter, they are beaten and forced to play on, for the council clings to the lie that sound can heal. But we who watch know better. The music is not cure, it is poison. It is ritual. It binds the dancers as chains bind slaves. Their bodies are ruined beyond recognition. Feet torn to shreds, bones split through flesh, joints swollen and black. Their garments are soaked through with sweat and blood, clinging to frames that grow thinner by the hour. Yet they do not rest. They cannot. Even when they fall, even when they strike the stone so hard their skulls crack and brains spill, their limbs twitch and jerk, refusing stillness. I have seen children trampled until nothing remains but pulp, yet the crowd does not falter, does not even see them, for they are blind to all but the rhythm. The square reeks of death, the gutters flow red, The stones slick with gore, flies rise in black clouds, and the air hums with their wings. Rats swarm in bold daylight, gnawing at corpses that no one has time to bury. The graveyards are full, the pits beyond the walls gape wide, yet still the dead come faster than they can be heaped into the earth. And always, always, there is the sound of feet, stamping, pounding, beating, until even the dead seem to stir. I have heard whispers that in the burial fields, the ground trembles at night, as if those cast into the pit still move beneath the soil. And yet the city does not flee. We cannot. The gates are watched, barred by guards who themselves tremble at the rhythm. They are commanded to keep the madness within, but I see the twitch in their hands, the shuffle in their steps. Soon the watch will fall as well, and then the dance will spill into the world beyond. The priests march still, chanting, swinging censers, holding relics high. They call upon the Virgin, upon Christ, upon every saint in heaven, but their words are drowned in the thunder of feet. Some priests collapse mid-prayer, their rosaries scattering, as they are seized by the same frenzy they came to banish. I saw one fling the cross from his hand, his mouth twisting into a shriek not of prayer but of laughter, before his legs carried him away into the crowd. If holy men are not spared, who among us can hope for mercy? The council debates in futility, their voices trembling above the noise. Some speak of poison in the bread, of cursed grain that boils the blood. Others speak of witches who walk unseen among us, whispering spells into our ears. Some cry that it is the wrath of saints, angered by our sins. And a few, pale and shaking, whisper the word none dare utter: devil. The devil walks in Strasbourg, and he leads the dance. I dare not go near. Yet even within my home I feel it. My legs ache, my chest heaves, my heart beats to fast. I hear the rhythm in every sound, in the creak of the beams, in the drip of water, in the thud of my pulse. At night I wake standing, swaying, my feet moving without my command. I bite my tongue until it bleeds, hoping the pain will wake me. But the rhythm lingers still, echoing through my marrow. I fear the dance is not only in the streets, it is in us all. The city itself is falling apart. The markets rot, the wells sour, the bakeries stand cold. No trade, no labour, no work indoors, for all who should toil are in the square, their lives burned away by the madness. Children starve, while their mothers stamp themselves to death upon the stones. Hunger gnaws at us, thirst chokes us, yet none dare fetch food or water from the streets where the dancers writhe. Strasbourg is not living now, it is decaying in place, a carcass that twitches though the soul is gone. The shadows at night are worse than the day. The torches throw the dancers' movements upon the cathedral walls, vast shapes that twist and coil like demons. Some shadows sprout horns, some wings, some shapes too monstrous to belong to flesh. I do not know if they are tricks of light, or if something greater dances among them, unseen except in shadow. But I know this, when I close my eyes, I see them still. I no longer ask whether this is punishment or plague. I no longer pray for mercy. I believe we are witnessing not illness, but revelation. The veil of the world has been torn, and something beyond has stepped through. The dance is not madness. It is worship. It is sacrifice. And we are both the congregation and the offering. God forgive me. I feel it stronger each day. My feet itch, my legs tremble, my chest pounds in rhythm not my own. I write faster, as if the pen itself keeps time. Perhaps soon I too shall rise, and when I do, I will not return. If these pages remain after I am gone, let them be a warning. The dance does not end. It does not die with the bodies it devours. It waits, it lingers, it spreads. And when it comes again, as surely it will not stop at Strasbourg. It will claim the world. The sound will not cease. It is everywhere, within and without, above and below. Day and night no longer exist for me, for all is drowned beneath the ceaseless pounding of feet upon stone. When I wake, I hear it. When I eat, it gnaws beneath every bite. When I lie upon my bed, hoping for sleep, it creeps into my skull until the marrow of my bones seems to throb in rhythm with the city. Strasbourg has become not a place, but a drum upon which the flesh of its people beats without mercy. It is not music. Do not think of music when I speak of sound. Music may carry beauty, or hope, or sorrow. This is none of those. This is raw rhythm, hammering, unrelenting, cruel. It crushes thought. It devours reason. It splits the mind until nothing remains but the beat, the beat, the beat. And I tell you, the city itself has begun to breathe with it. The walls quiver, the beams groan, the stones crack as though they too are caught in the dance. Strasbourg no longer belongs to men. It belongs to the rhythm. The dancers swell in number. I cannot count them, no man can. What began as one woman, what grew 2 dozens, then hundreds, has now become the multitude. They fill the squares, they choke the streets, they batter the gates. From my window I see rivers of bodies moving, stamping, twisting, falling, rising, stamping again. Some writhe until their bones snap, and still they move. Others burst with blood from nose, mouth, eyes, yet their feet do not falter until death itself drags them to the ground. Even then, they twitch, as though the rhythm refuses to release them. The council commanded the musicians to play still more loudly, thinking sound might cure sound, and so fiddlers scrape until their fingers split, drummers beat until their hands are raw stumps, pipers blow until blood sprays from their lips. But the music does not soothe, it feeds the madness. The instruments scream, shriek, wail, and the dancers convulse with greater fury. The devil himself plays through those strings. I am sure of it, for no human sound could summon such frenzy. And what of the priests? They march, they chant, they swing their censers until the smoke chokes the streets. They carry relics, they raise crucifixes, they call upon heaven with voices cracking into madness. Yet the pounding drowns their prayers. I watched one priest collapse mid-sermon, his hands clutching the host, his body jerking until he flung the body of Christ itself into the crowd, where it was trampled into the filth. If holy men are taken, what hope remains for us? The dead lie in heaps now. Carts creak with their burden, drawn through streets slick with gore. The graveyards overflow, the pits gape, yet still there is no room, and the corpses do not rest. I swear upon my soul that I have seen their limbs twitch in rhythm, even in death. Perhaps the dance does not end with the last breath. Perhaps it endures beneath the earth, beating still in darkness. God preserve us if that is true, for then the world itself is but a stage for death's dance, and the grave no refuge. The stench grows unbearable. Heat presses upon us like a hand upon the throat. The air is thick with sweat, piss, shit, blood, rot. Flies rise in black clouds, so dense they blot out the sun. Rats crawl over bodies in broad daylight, their bellies swollen, their muzzles crimson. Children starve in the alleys, too weak to cry, while their mothers stamp themselves into the stones. Hunger gnaws at us who yet resist, for the bakers, butchers, brewers are gone. No hand remains to feed us, but the hand of plague. Shadows grow monstrous at night. Torches flare, casting vast shapes upon the cathedral walls, shapes of limbs twisted beyond measure, of heads flung back in impossible angles, of bodies contorted until they resemble no human form. Some shadows sprout horns, some wings, some jaws vast enough to devour the sky. I do not know if it is trick of flame or true revelation, but I cannot look away. I think the city shows us its true face, and it is not the face of God. I confess, I feel it within me. My feet throb, my legs twitch, my heart pounds to fast. I wake standing, swaying, though I lay down in stillness. I bite my hands until blood runs. I drive nails through wood and clutch them, hoping pain will anchor me. But still my body moves when I do not will it. I am no longer certain these words are mine. Perhaps the rhythm guides even my pen. Perhaps I to dance, though seated. Perhaps I am already lost. The people whisper now of witches, of demons, of poisoned bread. They whisper of saints angered, of Christ offended, of angels turned against us. But their voices tremble, and their eyes betray the truth. None of us believe these excuses. The truth is simpler, darker. This is not sickness. It is not punishment. It is not sorcery. It is revelation. The veil has torn, and through it pours something vast and merciless. It does not come to punish. It comes to claim. I see it clearer each day. The dance is worship. The rhythm is prayer. The blood is sacrifice. Strasbourg has become an altar, and we are both priest and victim. Our feet beat the stones like drums, summoning something from beneath or beyond. And when it comes, it will not be confined to us. The gates cannot hold it. The walls cannot bar it. The rivers cannot wash it away. This is not a plague of men, but of the world. Last night I dreamt, or perhaps I did not dream. I saw the Rhine rise, its water stamping like feet. I saw the forests sway, their trees bending in rhythm. I saw the stars above wheel and pulse in time to the thunder. And in the center of all, I saw a figure vast beyond measure, faceless, for its face was every face of the dancers, mouths torn open, eyes rolled white. It raised no hand, it spoke no word, but the rhythm shook the world, and I woke screaming, my sheets soaked, my feet bloody from stamping in my sleep. If this is madness, then the city shares it with me. If it is revelation, then we are damned already. My ink runs low, my candle burns short, and my hand trembles beyond control. Yet I write still, for perhaps these words may outlast me. Perhaps they will be found when all else is silence. Perhaps they will warn others that the dance does not die. Listen well, whoever finds this. The sound of feet is not only in Strasbourg, it is in the world, it is in you, and when you hear it, you will dance. The air has grown thicker. It is no longer heat alone that chokes us, nor the stench of sweat and blood. It is fear, heavy as stone, pressing upon every breast. Fear lies in the streets. It seeps into houses. It coils within churches. One cannot speak without it trembling in the voice. One cannot look upon another without suspicion. And yet, within this same air, another breath stirs. Faith. Fear and faith walk hand in hand now, indistinguishable, as if the city is suspended between heaven and hell, waiting to see which shall claim it. The dancers multiply still. Their number is no longer guessed, for it is endless. They are the city now. All who resist are but watchers, and we watchers grow fewer with each passing day. I feel it in my marrow. Soon I too shall be numbered among them. Already I dream of stamping feet. Already my legs ache, though I sit still. Already my breath rises in rhythm not my own. The priests call louder than ever. Their chants roll through the streets like waves. Their processions endless, their relics raised high. They drag saints' bones from shrines. They hoist painted icons. They march with torches until smoke blinds them. They scream of wrath, of judgment, of punishment for sins too many to name. The people weep, fall to their knees, strike their own flesh with scourges. Whips crack in alleys, backs run red, women tear their garments and smear their faces with ash. Faith has become frenzy, as wild as the dance itself. But I see the priests falter. I see their hands tremble as they lift the cross. I see their eyes dart to the dancers, wide with terror. I hear their voices crack when the pounding of feet grows louder than their hymns. And I know this, their faith is no shield. They too are flesh. They too shall dance. Rumors spread faster than fire. Some whisper that the Virgin herself walks unseen among the dancers, her feet bare, her veil torn, punishing us for our blasphemies. Others say the Archangel Michael smites us, driving demons into our flesh until we stamp ourselves to dust. Some whisper darker still, that the devil himself leads the throng, unseen save in shadow, his hooves striking stone in rhythm with human feet. They say he is fattening hell with our souls, drawing us down one by one until none remain. The council is broken. Their meetings are chaos, their words drowned in shouts. One cries for fire to purge us, another for blood sacrifice, another for exile of the sick. They turn on each other with spittle and fists, for reason has left them. Some flee, abandoning the city to its fate. Others hide in cellars, trembling, clutching gold that will not feed them. None govern us now. Strasbourg has no leaders. Strasbourg is a body without a head, stamping itself into ruin. The bells toll without end. Their iron tongues swing until the towers shake. their echoes rolling like thunder over the roofs. They toll for the dead, yet they toll also for the living, for we too are lost. I cannot tell where bell ends and footstep begins. All is thunder, all is rhythm. I went to the cathedral yesterday. I do not know why, perhaps seeking mercy, perhaps seeking silence, but there was no silence. Even there, within the high stone walls, the pounding entered, rattling the glass, quivering the icons, shaking the crucifix, until the nailed Christ seemed to writhe upon his cross. People filled the nave, crawling on their knees, clawing the stones, screaming prayers that broke into laughter. Some convulsed upon the floor, their limbs jerking in mockery of the dancers. One woman beat her head upon the altar until her skull split, blood painting the white cloth, and still she cried, "Forgive, forgive," until her tongue was gone. The priests raised the host, but the host quivered. They raised the chalice, but the wine shook, spilling like blood. And I, God forgive me, I saw shapes move in the shadows high upon the vaulting, shapes vast and winged, with eyes like burning coals. Perhaps it was only the play of torchlight, but I felt their gaze upon me, and I knew then, prayer cannot save us, faith cannot save us, for faith itself is infected. The city rots around us. Bread lies mouldy in stalls, meat festers, water sours. Children wander starving, their bellies swollen, their limbs like sticks, their eyes glassy. Mothers cannot feed them, for the mothers stamp themselves to death in the squares. Dogs howl in the streets, then fall silent, joining the rats at the feast of corpses. The Rhine itself stinks with bodies hurled into it, swelling, splitting, floating until the current drags them beyond sight. And still the dance continues, as though nothing else exists. I cannot resist much longer. Each night I wake standing, swaying, my feet blistered though I have not walked. My legs twitch as if pulled by strings. My chest heaves in time with the pounding outside. I clutch the table until my knuckles crack. I drive nails into my palms to anchor myself, but the rhythm creeps ever deeper. Sometimes, when I write, I see the words form in patterns, repeating, circling, like a dance upon the page. Sometimes I fear these are not my words, but the rhythms. If so, then perhaps I am already lost. Perhaps this diary is not testimony, but prophecy. Perhaps I do not write to resist, but to spread. God forgive me, if God still walks this city. I once thought this would end when the dancers fell dead, but the dead are carried away by the cartload, and still the dance grows. It feeds on death. It fattens on despair. It does not weaken, it swells. Death is not its end. Death is its nourishment. And so faith falters. Some abandon prayer and surrender to despair, drinking themselves into stupor, slashing their own throats before the rhythm can claim them. Others cast off garments, run naked into the square, offering themselves as sacrifice to heaven or hell, I know not which. Still others cling to relics, press crucifixes to their bleeding flesh, crawl through filth to touch the cathedral doors, believing touch alone will cleanse them. But the doors are stained now, the wood black with blood, the stone worn smooth by desperate hands. There is no salvation in stone. Fear has become worship. Faith has become madness. The two are one now, inseparable. We fear God as we fear the devil. We worship the devil as we worship God. The dance has broken the boundary between holy and profane. All is frenzy. All is rhythm. I feel it now as never before. My feet itch until I tear the skin. My legs throb, as though chains drag them toward the square. My chest pounds, faster and faster, until I fear my heart will burst. My vision blurs, my ears ring, and always beneath it is the pounding, the pounding, the pounding. If I rise from this table, I will not return. If I step from this door, I will not return. Yet how long can I resist? I am a man of flesh, and flesh belongs to the rhythm. Perhaps these words are my last act of defiance. Perhaps they are only another verse in the song. Perhaps when I lay down this pen, my body will rise, and I will join the multitude. If so, let these pages remain. Let them bear witness that Strasbourg has fallen not to plague, nor to famine, nor to war, but to the rhythm that beats in all things. It is not sickness, it is not wrath, It is revelation, and I feel it now within me, rising, rising, the feet, the sound of feet, they are mine. Night no longer brings silence. Darkness, once a mercy that veiled the ruin of the day, has become a theatre for greater terrors. Where once torches lined the streets in scattered glow, now great fires rise from every square, every market, every open place where the dancers gather. Flames roar against the sky. Sparks fall like stars. Smoke thickens until the moon itself seems veiled in ash. Strasbourg is ringed in fire, as if the city has been offered up upon an altar, burning in sacrifice. I stand at my window, and I see the multitude writhe in crimson light. Their shadows leap upon the walls like demons, vast and twisted, their limbs contorted beyond human measure. I can no longer tell where flesh ends and shadow begins. The dancers themselves seem consumed, their faces painted red, their teeth gleaming white in gaping mouths, their eyes black voids in firelight. They stamp until blood splashes from their feet, leaving prints that glisten like molten iron upon the stones. The sound is worse at night. The beat of thousands of feet upon stone merges with the crackle of fire, the shriek of pipes, the groan of drums, the screech of fiddles, until the very air quakes with torment. I press cloth to my ears. I bury my head beneath blankets, but the rhythm pierces bone and blood. It is not heard, it is felt. My ribs rattle, my teeth grind, my skull pounds as if struck by hammers. Even in silence, if silence exists at all, the beat continues within me. The priests no longer march by day. They come now only by night, their processions winding between fires like serpents, their chants a droning counterpoint to the dance. They drag crosses so heavy they bow and break beneath them. They carry relics that drip with sweat, their garments black with soot and ash. They scream of the apocalypse, of revelation, of the horror upon the beast, of trumpets and plagues and seals broken. And I, God help me, I believe them. For what else could this be? Strasbourg is Babylon, and we its harlots, writhing in fornication with death itself. Yet their faith is tainted. I see madness in their eyes. Some chant until their voices shatter and blood pours from their throats. Some scourge themselves until their backs are flayed raw, ribbons of flesh dangling, blood spraying in arcs across the stones. Some hurl themselves into the fires, arms raised, screaming Sanctus, Sanctus, until flame devours them. The smell of burning flesh mingles with sweat and smoke until the night is one choking stench. And still the dancers stamp, unheeding, unending. The council no longer meets. Their hall is abandoned, their seals broken, their records scattered. Power is gone, order is gone. There is only rhythm now, and rhythm governs all. The city is a body without a head, driven by feet alone. The dead are no longer carried away by carts. There are too many. They are thrown upon the fires. I see them writhe as flames take them, their limbs jerking as though they still dance, their mouths opening in silent screams. Children, women, men, priests, beggars, all burn alike, and their smoke rises as incense to heaven or to hell. I no longer know which. I do not leave my chamber, yet the dance has entered here. My feet throb, my legs twitch, my breath quickens against my will. When I try to sleep, I wake standing, my hands clawing the walls, my body swaying though no music plays. My sheets are torn, my floor is streaked with blood from stamping feet. I write by candlelight, but even the flame dances, flickering in rhythm with the pounding outside. Sometimes I think the very world beats now, every tree, every river, every star. Sometimes I fear there is no beyond, that the universe is only this, endless stamping, endless burning, endless rhythm. I see visions when I close my eyes. I see the Rhine rise in fire, its waters boiling, corpses writhing within like fish. I see the black forest sway as if the trees themselves dance, their roots tearing from earth, their branches flailing like arms. I see the heavens wheel, the stars forming circles, spinning faster and faster until they blur into fiery wheels above us. And at the center, I see the figure again, vast, faceless, made of countless mouths screaming, countless eyes rolling white. It does not move, yet all moves through it. It is the dance. It is the fire. It is everything. God forgive me. But when I see it, I do not tremble. I rejoice. For in its face I see release from fear, from hunger, from flesh. I see eternity in the stamping of feet, in the crackle of flame, in the rhythm that will not cease. Perhaps this is not torment, but transcendence. Perhaps we are not damned, but chosen, to be the first to enter the new dance that shall claim the world. Yet, when the vision fades, fear returns. My body is weak, my flesh torn, my heart frantic. I know I cannot endure. Already my pen trembles. Already my words falter. Already I feel the rhythm rising within me, irresistible, inevitable. The fires blaze higher. The dancers shriek louder. The priests burn with their flock. The bells toll until towers crack. The city is ash, yet the dance endures. I will not last another night. I feel it now, in my bones, in my blood. I will rise. I will stamp. I will burn. My words will end, but the rhythm will continue. And if these pages are found, know this: the night fires are not the end. They are the beginning. The dance will not stop. Not here. Not ever. Ash lies thick upon Strasbourg. It drifts from the sky in pale veils. It chokes the alleys. It coats the roofs and stones until the city itself seems carved from bone. Fires still burn, but dimmer now. Smouldering heaps of ruin, where once towers stood, where once markets swarmed, where once the bells tolled to call men to prayer. The bells are silent. Their throats are cracked. Their tongues lie shattered. Only the rhythm remains, duller, deeper, like a drum muffled by shrouds, yet all the more dreadful for its persistence. I walk the streets now, for my chamber is no longer refuge. The windows gape empty. The air stinks too fiercely. The walls seem to close upon me. I wander among corpses and ruins. Though my steps are not mine, my feet carry me where they will, my heart beating in time, my breath ragged as though I chase and I am chased. Everywhere the dead lie twisted, mouths open in silent screams, limbs flung wide as though frozen in the last convulsion of the dance. Some are charred black, their bones gleaming through. Others are bloated, oozing, their bellies split by heat and rot. The flies swarm in clouds, so thick they obscure the sun. Yet even the corpses are not still. They twitch, they jerk, they rock in faint echoes of rhythm. I swear it. I see fingers drum upon the stones, legs spasm, jaws snap open and shut. Perhaps it is but gas, but heat, but decay. Yet I cannot shake the certainty. The dance does not end with breath. It continues beneath the ash, beneath the skin, beneath the soil. There are few of us left who yet walk, who yet breathe. Some stagger like me, half broken, eyes wild, lips moving in silent count to the rhythm. Others collapse in heaps, their hearts bursting at last. The priests are gone, consumed in flame or frenzy. The council is gone, the guards are gone. Children wander, hollow-eyed, then fall, their small feet still twitching as the life leaves them. Strasbourg is no longer a city of men. It is a tomb, yet the tomb is restless. I thought silence might come at last, but silence is denied. Even where no foot falls, even where no drum beats, the rhythm persists. It echoes in the stones, in the timbers, in the very ground. When I press my ear to the earth, I hear it pounding deep below, vast, immeasurable, as though the heart of the world itself has quickened. Ash muffles sound, yet the beat grows louder within. It is in my blood, in my marrow. My veins throb with it. My teeth chatter with it. At night I dream, though I do not know if I sleep. I see the city from above, not as I once knew it, but as a black crater, smoking, pulsing. From its heart spreads a circle of fire, of rhythm, of stamping feet without bodies. The echo spreads outward, through the fields, into the forests, across the rivers. Villages catch, towns burn, mountains tremble, seas churn. The sky itself bows and beats in time, clouds forming vast circles that whirl until they dissolve. The stars blink in rhythm, the moon shudders, all creation dances. When I wake, my feet are raw and blooded, my legs cramp until I scream, my nails are torn from clawing stone. Yet I do not remember rising, I do not remember moving. The dance moves me, whether I will it or not. My hand, even now, writes in jerks, as if guided by another. Perhaps these are not my words. Perhaps I am but instrument, pen and flesh in service of the rhythm. Some whisper that it was hunger, or poison, or madness that brought this. Some cling still to explanations, as if reason might shield them from the abyss. But I know now there is no cause, no cure, no reason. There is only revelation. The veil is torn, and what lay beyond has entered. The dance is not punishment. It is not plague. It is truth, and truth endures when all else burns to ash. I walked past the cathedral today. Its spire is blackened, half collapsed, its windows shattered. The saints in stone are headless, their bodies cracked. Upon its steps lie a dozen corpses, still upright, backs bent, as though they froze mid-bow before the altar of nothingness. Inside, the floor is a charnel pit. Bones crunch beneath each step, yet the echo is loudest there. The nave resounds with stamping that has no source, as though angels unseen dance forever in torment. Or perhaps not angels. My reflection betrays me. In pools of stagnant water, in panes of shattered glass, I see not my face, but a mask of ash, my eyes sunken pits, my mouth torn wide. Sometimes the reflection moves when I am still. Sometimes it stamps when I do not. I fear soon it will step forth, and I will vanish, leaving only the echo behind. I tried to flee. I left the gates, stumbled through fields scorched and empty. Yet the rhythm followed. Birds rose in great flocks, their wings beating time. The very earth shook beneath me, each step resounding as if struck by countless feet. I collapsed in terror, my legs jerking, my breath choking, and when I rose, I was back within the city, as though the world itself circled back, trapping me in endless dance. There is no escape. Strasbourg is not a place. Strasbourg is the world. The ash falls thicker. It coats my tongue, my lungs, my skin, until I am grey as the dead. Yet still I move, yet still I write, yet still the rhythm endures. Sometimes I think the ash is not from fire, but from us, the dancers ground to dust by their own stamping, scattered into the air to fall again upon those who remain. We breathe one another, we consume one another, we become one another. Soon I too will be ash, and still I will dance. If any survive beyond, if any stranger finds these words, hear me, the dance does not die. It echoes in stone, in soil, in flesh. It will spread. It will claim your towns, your fields, your halls, your hearts. You cannot bar it. You cannot bury it. Ash does not silence, it only muffles. And muffled sound grows louder when at last it bursts forth. The fires fade, the bodies rot, the city crumbles. But beneath it all, the rhythm grows. Each echo breeds another. Each silence conceals a deeper sound. Strasbourg is ash, but the dance endures. And I endure with it, for I am not I. I am echo. I am ash. I am rhythm. And so are you. The bells have returned. They were shattered. I saw it with my own eyes. The towers cracked, the bronze split, tongues torn from their chains and hurled upon the stones. 4 weeks there was only silence, save for the beat of countless feet. But now, when the fires die low and the ash drifts thickest, the bells toll once more, not by hand, nor rope, nor wind. They toll themselves. Their sound is hollow, not the peal of metal struck, but the groan of vast caverns, the murmur of skulls. It is as though the air itself rings, as though the bones of the city have become bells, and the voice that issues forth is not of man, but of void. The tolling spreads through every street, every ruin, every heap of ash. It seeps into marrow. It shakes the heart in its cage. I feel it in my teeth, rattling, as if my very skull is a clapper. Each toll comes not at random, but in rhythm with the stamping that never ceases. The bells are part of the dance now, feet and flame, ash and echo, and now this, a resonance vast beyond the city, vast beyond the earth. For when the bells toll, the sky itself quivers, stars tremble, clouds wheel in circles. I think the heavens themselves dance. The corpses move with each toll. I have seen them, lying in heaps, charred and bloated, yet at the hollow ringing they convulse as one. Arms rise, jaws gape, spines arch, then they collapse once more into stillness until the next toll. They are not raised, not yet, but they are not at rest. Death itself shudders when the bells speak, and I, too, shudder. I cannot still myself. My body bends, my legs stamp, my arms fling wide in gestures not my own. The toll commands me. My words jerk upon the page, my letters crooked, my ink spattered, as though I write not with hand, but with seizure. Yet the words form, the rhythm dictates, and I obey. Am I author, or am I parchment? The city is nearly gone. Houses sag in heaps of ember and bone. Streets lie buried beneath layers of ash, as though snow had fallen, but snow that smothers and chokes. The river is black, sluggish, carrying corpses swollen like bladders, their limbs bumping one against another in a grotesque parody of dance. And above all, the hollow bells toll, slow and vast, like the heartbeats of a dying god. I wandered to the cathedral again, drawn though I fought against my own feet. Its spire's a jagged tooth, its nave a cavern of ruin, yet from within, the tolling is loudest, as though the shattered bells still hang unseen, and are struck by hands invisible. I entered, trembling, and there upon the altar lay no host, no chalice, no relic, but a heap of ash shaped like a man, arms outstretched, head bowed. And as the bells tolled, the ash shifted, rose in dust clouds, and seemed to dance. I fled, but the rhythm pursued. There is nowhere it does not reach. Even the silence between tolls is not silence, but waiting, like the intake of breath before a scream. I no longer eat. I no longer sleep. Hunger gnaws, thirst burns, yet they are small torments beside the rhythm. My flesh wastes, my lips crack, my eyes bleed, but still I move. My feet are bone wrapped in torn flesh, my soul is split, my toenails blackened and gone. Still they stamp, still they obey. My body is no longer mine. It is an instrument played by the hollow bells. When I write, my words twist. I find letters in strange forms, circles, sigils, marks not taught by any master. They spill from me, as if I had always known them, as if they lay buried in my blood, waiting. Some pages I dare not read after I have written, for the shapes shift when I return to them, the ink crawling, the letters writhing like worms. Perhaps this too is the language of the dance. Perhaps these are its scripture. Visions take me even as I walk. I see the city not as ruin, but as vast geometry, circles and lines traced in fire and ash, the dancers themselves forming patterns too great for any human eye to comprehend. From above, it must resemble a sigil vast enough to scar the world, and the bells toll in answer, each note a command, each rhythm a binding. Something is being summoned, something is being loosed. Once I thought it was devilry, once I thought it was judgment. Now I think it is neither. It is not evil, nor good. It is not punishment, nor reward. It is simply truth, truth vast and merciless, truth that strips all meaning save rhythm. The bells ring hollow, because the world itself is hollow, and their voice is the voice of the emptiness at the core of all things. I am hollow too. I feel it within me, a void widening. My thoughts echo within my skull, faint, distant, swallowed by the toll. Soon they will be gone, and only the echo will remain. Already I forget my name. Already I forget the taste of bread, the warmth of sun, the voice of my mother. Already I am less man than instruments, less flesh than sound. The bells toll, and my pen scratches. The bells toll, and my feet stamp. The bells toll, and I no longer ask why. If these pages survive, they will carry the toll. If another reads, they will hear it too. For the hollow sound spreads not only through air and stone, but through word and thought. Already, as you read, your skull rings, your heart quickens, your foot begins to twitch. Deny it if you can. You cannot. The hollow bells are not of Strasbourg alone. They ring across the earth. They ring within you. They ring forever. And when their last toll comes, if there is last toll, it will not be end, but beginning. There are few of us left. I wander the streets and count, if counting still has meaning, less than 100 who yet move with breath in their bodies. But they are not alive in truth. They are husks, broken and hollow, their feet guided not by will, but by rhythm. They stagger, twist, collapse, rise again. Their bones jut through skin. Their eyes sink deep into sockets. Their mouths gape, tongues black and swollen. But still they stamp, stamp, stamp. The city is silent of voices. No cries, no sermons, no commands remain. Only the rhythm, and the hollow bells that toll at intervals so vast, I think the world itself holds its breath between. Ash covers all, thick as snow, choking, blinding, endless. The wind lifts it in slow whirls, and within those whirls I see faces, mouths screaming, bodies stamping. Even the dust dances. I follow the last dancers, though I do not know if I am apart from them. My feet move as theirs do. My flesh tears as theirs tears. My breath hitches in time with theirs. We are fragments of one body, many and yet one, broken but bound. Sometimes I think we are no longer men at all, but shadows cast by the rhythm, echoes in flesh that is burning out. I cannot recall when last I ate, when last I drank. Hunger is gone, thirst is gone. The rhythm feeds me, or consumes me. There is no difference now. My body shrinks, skin sagging upon bone, but still it moves. When I glance down, I see my legs jerking without my will, my feet split and bleeding, leaving trails of red upon the ash. They are not my feet, they are the dance's feet. We gather in the great square, what remains of us. Once thousands stamped here, a sea of flesh, now only dozens, scattered, staggering, falling. Yet the rhythm is no weaker, it is stronger. The fewer we are, the louder it echoes, as though emptiness amplifies it, as though silence itself has joined. The hollow bells toll above, and each toll flings us into frenzy. Our limbs cracking, our jaws tearing wide until our faces are masks of blood. Corpses surround us in mountains, piles of them, twisted, broken, charred, bloated. They slump in heaps against the walls. They spill into alleys. They rot in the gutters. And still they twitch. Fingers drum, jaws snap, spines arch in faint rhythm. The dead are not still. The dead are dancers too, though their measure is slower, their music deeper. When the wind shifts, it carries their stench, thick and sweet, and I gag though my body does not cease to stamp. The fires burn lower now, but their embers pulse in rhythm. I watch the coals breathe, red to black, black to red, like lungs vast and unseen. The river moves sluggish, yet its ripples keep time. Even the clouds above wheel in circles. The dance is all. I lose myself in it. I forget my name, my years, my father's house, my mother's face. All dissolves into the stamping, the hollow tolling, the endless beat. I do not know if I write these words, or if they write themselves through me. My hand jerks across the page, letters slant, lines writhe. Perhaps I am no longer a man with pen, but a pen alone, scratching the scripture of rhythm upon parchment of flesh. When I look upon the last dancers, I see not men, but shapes. Their shadows stretch vast upon the walls, their limbs twisted into beasts, into angels, into sigils to complex forethought. Some crawl like spiders, some leap like stags, some writhe like serpents. I know they are broken bodies, yet in their movement I see patterns vast, greater than any I should behold. We are writing something with our steps, something upon the stones, upon the city, upon the earth itself. A summoning, a binding, a birth. Vision seize me without warning. I see the Rhine boiling, spewing ash instead of water. I see forests of ash trees swaying though no wind blows, their roots dancing beneath the soil. I see mountains grinding against one another, stamping, their avalanches in rhythm. I see the heavens wheeling, stars circling until they blur into a vast eye that stares, unblinking, and within it, the figure again, vast, faceless, countless mouths screaming without sound. Its hands stretch across the world, not to crush, not to lift, but to move, to dance. Once I thought it was madness. Now I know madness is only another word for truth too great to bear. We are not cursed. We are not judged. We are instruments, and the music we play is not ours. The few who fall do not remain fallen. They twitch, they convulse, they drag themselves across the stones until they rise again, swaying, stamping, limbs flailing. Death does not end it. Flesh resists, bone resists, but the rhythm breaks all resistance. We are eternal in our movement, though not in our lives. Even ashes dance, and soon I will be ash. The bells toll hollow, slow, vast. My chest cracks with each note. Blood spills from my ears, my nose, my eyes. Yet still I hear, still I see, still I stamp. My heart strains against my ribs, my veins bulge, my skull feels ready to burst. Perhaps it will. Perhaps the dance wishes me hollow at last, an empty vessel ringing with its sound. If these words survive, they will carry the rhythm. Even now, as you read, you feel it. Your foot stirs, your heart quickens, your breath catches. The dance spreads not by sight, not by sound, but by knowing. To read is to hear is to move is to be claimed. We are the last dancers, but not the end. We are the seed. Strasbourg is ash, but ash is fertile. From us the rhythm will spread. From us it will claim villages, towns, kingdoms, worlds. No wall will bar it. No prayer will halt it. The bells toll hollow, and their sound is without end. I am not I. I am not man. I am not flesh. I am not pen. I am movement. I am rhythm. I am echo. And so are you. The city is gone. Where once stood Strasbourg, there is only ash and ruin, bones and silence. The fires have burned out. The bells have cracked and fallen. The priests are dust. The council forgotten. The dancers consumed. The streets lie buried. The houses collapsed. The cathedral broken open like a carcass torn for the crows. Nothing remains of what was. And yet there is no peace. For silence here is not absence. It is not rest. It is a silence filled, swollen, heavy with echo. It is the pause between heartbeats, the breath drawn before a scream, the stillness of a drum before the strike. The silence is not silence at all. It is the dance, waiting. I feel it still, though all others have fallen. I am the last, or think I am. I stagger through streets of bone, my shadow long upon the pale ash, my feet stamping though they have no flesh left to stamp with. My sawless are torn away, my toes broken, my bones bare. Yet they move, they grind into the stone, carving grooves, dust rising with each step. My body is nothing now but a frame of pain, a sack of blood spilling, a mask of skin stretched thin. Yet it moves. I no longer hunger. I no longer thirst. I no longer dream. What I am is rhythm. What I am is echo. What I am is the hollow sound that lingers after bells have fallen. I am the silence that follows, but silence that breeds sound. I write still, though I know not how. My hand is claws, my fingers crack to bone, yet the pen moves. Ink runs dry, so I dip in my blood. The page soaks, the letters smear, yet they form. Perhaps not by me, perhaps by the rhythm itself, using me as it used my feet, my flesh, my life. These words are not mine, they are its. I have seen visions, final visions, though perhaps they are not visions but unveiling. I see Strasbourg from above, not as ruin, but as a sigil vast and black, traced in ash, in corpses, in fire. I see circles upon circles, spirals, lines crossing in endless knots. I see dancers, not hundreds but millions, stretched across the earth, their stamping farming patterns to vast fall thought. I see the seas rise and fall in rhythm, mountains tremble, forests sway, deserts writhe. I see the heavens wheel, the stars blinking in time, the moon pulsing like a drum, and in the center, always in the center, I see the figure, vast beyond measure, faceless yet with every face, mouthless yet with every scream. Its arms are the horizons, its feet the foundations of the world. It does not dance, it is the dance. It is not born, it is eternal. It does not end. It only waits, and we are its instruments. I thought once that this would end with us, with Strasbourg, with the last of the dancers collapsing into ash. But now I know the truth. The dance was never ours. We were never its beginning. We were never its end. We were only a verse in an endless song, a step in an eternal measure. It will rise again in other streets, in other towns, in other hearts. It cannot be bound. It cannot be buried. It is the world's breath, the world's heart, the world's silence. And you who read these words, you who think yourself safe, distant, untouched, you are wrong. For even as your eyes move upon this page, you feel it. Your heart quickens. Your foot stirs. Your breath hitches. The silence between my words is not empty. It beats. It calls. It claims. I am finished. My body collapses even as I write. My blood runs black. My eyes sink. My breath rattles. Soon I will be ash upon ash, dust upon dust. But the rhythm will not die with me. It will move through these words, through your eyes, through your bones. It will spread, as it always spreads, as it always will. The silence that follows is not silence. It is waiting. It is summoning. It is the dance. And now I am gone.